All right, looks like we're live. Hello, everybody, and happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Thank you so much for taking your time to join us, because we know many of you have a lot of family things going on. But let's get things out of the way in case we have any new people in here right now. My name is Russ.
And I'm Kerry.
And we are the Roads We Roam. We're coming to you from Pahrump, Nevada right now. We're out in the middle of the desert, and we're just kind of in the foothills, right? Above Pahrump.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we'd classify it, but we've got the city there, which was great because at night you had the city lights.
Yeah.
And then you have the snow-capped mountains off to our
This
side.
is a really good boondocking area.
I'm going to let you know who's in the room already.
All right, let's do it.
We have Arnold and Josie and their fur babies.
Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Carlos and Renee.
Thank you, Carlos and Renee. Good to see you.
Archeo Digger. Coffee in hand.
Hey,
ready for
how's
a
it going?
chat. Mom, she said, let's get moving, Balbarona. It's afternoon in Florida.
Yeah, you know what I'm excited about with my grandmother? One of the reasons we came out here is my grandmother's relocating. She's relocating back to Florida with my mother. So she'll get to watch us on our live chat. You'll get to meet my grandmother, who's 99 years old. She'll be in here chatting.
Yep, Mom will have to be in charge of typing in
Yeah,
her
yeah,
comments. RVDM's here, Destination Chronicles.
Thank you guys so much. You guys are on here a lot. We really appreciate the support. Thank you so much.
Destinations Chronicles reminds me of that show Destination Truth.
Yes, very
I
cool
love.
name. I
Josh
like
Reed.
that name too.
Miss Max Smart, Sue.
Hey,
here.
Sue.
Mickle Long, Mike and Trina say hello.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Graham, Washington.
Nice.
Tamra's here from Dallas.
Hey Tamra, we haven't heard from her in a while.
That's because she's been busy in her Airstream, coasting around, I'm sure, because I would be.
Tamra, we changed too, as if you can tell. We didn't do an Airstream, but we moved into a Class A, and we are loving it. I'm going to tell everybody right now. So we got this, and it has all the solar. If you watched our last live stream, 960 watts of solar, 6,500 Onan generator. We don't have to plug in ever. Last night we were unplugged. We watched TV for several hours, which we haven't done in a long time.
Charged our computers and our phones.
Yeah, but one thing that we've really been saying we want to get is a WeBoost. And it's just so expensive that we've kind of been putting it off. And then this morning, I had to run out and get some water. Came back. Kerry was saying, hey, I found the WeBoost we want.
I'd been doing all the research.
She'd been telling me about the research. This is one we want. And then she said, hey, Russ, can you do me a favor? Look up in that cabinet above you, all the way to the right. What do I see? We have a WeBoost. Yeah.
We have a WeBoost. I just had to turn it on.
We didn't even know we had one. I was teasing with my son. I said, we've talked about, man, I wish we had solar. Bam, 690 watts or 960 watts of solar. I wish we had a WeBoost. Bam, a WeBoost. I said to my son, I'm going to wish we had $5 million. He said, you better watch out. You might get like $5 million in cocaine or something.
Buried in there or something.
Somewhere in the trailer, yeah. But no,
Be careful what you wish for.
This RV has had such. We're still finding more amazing things about it.
I feel blessed to have it, and it's got everything that we talked about, all the upgrades that would work for our lifestyle.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You never know. Don't overlook some of the used units, I guess. That's the takeaway.
We could never. The amount of stuff that's in here, like this guy had the TV set up. He's got the WeBoost here. He had an Amazon Fire thing in this thing already. Okay. We didn't know about any of that.
So happy Easter from Chris Hansen. Chris is here.
Hey Chris, happy Easter. Thanks for joining us.
Lewis said, hey guys, got you on the big screen to check out Russ's beard progress.
Oh.
He almost shaved it last night. I said, no, you're committing to it this time because I'm not going to let you go through it again. So
here we go. I'm going to go buy some beard balm like you said. But yeah, thank you, Lewis. I'll keep fighting the fight, man.
Judy's wishing happy Easter as well.
Hey, Judy, happy Easter. Thanks for joining us again.
Archeo Digger said, I was stationed at NAS Fallon, Nevada back in the early 80s and loved the desert.
Yeah, we truly love it. It's gorgeous. I know when we first moved here from Hawaii, we weren't a big fan of it, But
I've gotten used to the Southwest. I love the heat.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And speaking of heat, yesterday it was only like 83. We had beautiful cross breezes. Today it's only supposed to get up to 79. We don't even have to run the AC.
So Tamara and Linda are getting caught up here. They're like, wait, Teddy's no more. Nice digs. What about Teddy and Betty?
Betty's still here, but Teddy no longer.
And Betty will probably be getting a smaller tote.
Yeah, we don't want to tow a big 1500 behind us. So.
Mom said there were 4 bunnies in her yard this morning. See, for
happy
Easter.
I saw 2 cottontails as I was heading into town to pick up some water. So yeah, the bunnies are out. Somebody's got to hide the eggs for all the kids.
Now, for those of you that don't know, we also have an Instagram channel. Lewis said our Instagram pics of the new rig are just awesome.
Yep.
So I took one. Russ took one.
I think it's _roads_
in between each word is a little underscore because somebody already took the roads we roam.
They got like 2 pictures.
No, they don't have any.
No pictures.
None.
Wow.
They say blog coming soon or something like that. So they took the name and they didn't do anything with it, and it was right at the beginning when we were starting. So
yeah,
that extra little step to find us. And Tamara said, "How did I miss this? Oh, how fun! I know you'll have withdrawals with all that space." Oh, we're still. The other day, Russ was just amazed where he said for the first time ever he didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
And we were both in the units.
Last night we were watching TV. Kerry was lounging on this couch. I was lounging on that couch.
We can lounge.
You know what we need to do tonight? We need to pull this couch out into a bed because it goes into a bed. Put the pillows up and you and I can both lie down there and watch TV.
And put the dogs over on that one.
Put the dogs on the other couch.
Look at Billy just chilling over there
in the sun. Yeah, she loves it.
So Carlos and Renee said, so when are we getting a tour and a cooking video? Just curious, no rush.
Those should come out soon. The tour video very soon. My mom has been yelling at me to get a tour video up. So when Mom yells, you know.
Are we going to incorporate part of that into next Saturday's video, or are we going to just do a tour?
I think maybe we should do both. Do a tour and then put some of that into the Saturday video in case somebody misses it through.
See, I'm not the slave driver here. You know, he keeps telling me I keep cracking
when she says should we, that means we will.
Yeah. Sean says, hey guys, from Sean Morden said, hey guys from sunny Florida, and
hey,
what's
Sean.
the name of the new rig?
Yeah, you know, we haven't really gotten there yet. We talked about Sunny at first because of the 960 watts of solar. Then our son said, oh, you should call it the Enterprise because now we have so much room. We got those 2 captain chairs. And then, what's his name? Ron and Linda. I can't remember their channel name, though. Jumbink. Ron and Linda said, oh, you should call it the Russ Bus. And
Which I loved. I love that.
And then I was thinking, well, it's not really Russ, it's us. So I was thinking maybe we could do a little play on that and call it the Us Bus.
Well, maybe we can put it up for a vote with one of those community things where you can vote.
Okay, yeah, I'll do a community post voting on what we should name.
And so by tomorrow morning, if you have any other suggestions, put them in there. And then we will kind of take the top. How many can you do? 4?
I think you can do like 6.
Okay, so we'll do our top 6 ones that we're struggling with, and you guys can vote on that. Chuck from Get Bronson said, checking in from Bend. Good to see you. All the way up from Bend already.
Chuck. Hey man, when we were watching some of your live video the other night, I think you were, well, we caught it afterwards, but I don't know if you were getting ready to do a set up there. It was kind of difficult because the audio was cutting in and out, but always love watching your stuff, man. Keep putting those great videos up.
Please do.
Yeah, and if any of you guys want to see somebody who's been living in a van for 3 years now, check out Get Bronson's videos. We love them. He's actually Kerry's and mine, I guess, adopted RV son.
Yes, he's part of the Mama Bee group.
Yes.
2 Doves said, love the hat.
Thank you. You know, Ron and Linda Ron got on me about my hat, so I got this hat. And you know what? I've got a wood walking stick, and it just didn't fit before. But with this hat, that old school wood walking stick, I think I can pull it off.
Russ has to do the whole outfit.
Yeah, I have to commit and just do it.
So Judy says, I feel a little betrayed because I love the little guy, Max. Don't feel betrayed because we still we absolutely love the little guy.
Sorry, Judy.
But I think our honest assessment is full-time living as a couple that are working
Yeah,
on the road. And that's the key word, I think.
working.
Full-time couple that works from their unit. It just became a little bit unmanageable, and we needed something with a little bit more. But if we
Yeah.
were just weekend camping, I would still go with the little
And
guy.
really, too, if you're full-time living, but you don't have two people working, I think it was doable. But once I started picking up a little bit of work, Kerry started helping me. She's picking up some different work. It got to where it was too difficult.
So Iron Actual says, you guys just appeared on my Reddit feed right as I clicked on the stream.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. We like hearing that.
Was it the pictures that we had posted? I don't do the Reddit stuff. Kerry does the Reddit.
You know, and I haven't done a lot of it. I just posted a picture of I put our new to us rigs.
Yeah,
maybe that's what you saw.
We've had mixed emotions with Reddit. You know, sometimes the pictures seem to do well, but sometimes you get flamed. There's people on Reddit that I think they're just on Reddit. Not all of them, but I think some people are just on Reddit to troll you.
Yes.
But then we've had some great experiences on Reddit also. So I'm glad you're here, is what I'm saying.
Tamara said the max is small.
It is. But one thing that we've already realized is we're not going to be able to get back to, like, Sedona we could probably get to with that area we're at, but it would be tough going.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be able to do our place outside of Tucson.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit more, because to find this space...
Is Graham in here? Did I just see Graham popped up from under?
He is. Yes, he noticed your little icon.
Graham, thank you so much for joining us, man.
We've got people from across the pond.
Graham is from the UK. Kerry loves his accent.
Yes.
But Graham is a distributor for Technetics metal detectors out there, and an amazing man. I've been hunting with him a couple of times, and I don't think I've ever met somebody so knowledgeable about metal detectors. That's the one thing. You see a lot of distributors who are good at selling, but they don't know the product.
And he knows it.
Graham knows the product better than some of our engineers. Anyways, okay, let's get back to where we were.
Well, we've got Scott and Tammy from Where to Wander 2. Happy
guys.
Easter all.
Happy
Hi.
Easter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Happy Easter too. Someone named Brett Balbarona has just joined the room.
Brett, our boy.
For those of you who don't know, that's our son in Seattle.
I'm glad you're awake. He had no choice. I just learned how to play a new song on the ook, and Brett plays the ook way better than me, so I had to call Brett and play that song for him. It was The Endless Summer from the movie called The Endless Summer.
Oh, yes, that's right, but it was up on the North Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Two Doves put in a vote for the Mayo Mobile.
The Mayo Mobile.
1 ton of mayo. So, no.
One ton of mayo.
So, for those of you who don't know, we had caravan for a bit with Two Doves Nation, and Ace got this song stuck in all of our heads, and then it passed his mind for a while, but it's been stuck in his.
It's still there.
To the point where he's even learned it on the ook, and I've been hearing it incessantly.
Do I need to play it now?
No, you do not need to play it.
All right, if anybody wants to hear 1 ton of Mara on the ook, now's the time to override Kerry.
No, it's not up for vote. Because even this is not big enough for me to escape it for my sanity level. And Brett said you guys went from a shuttlecraft to the Enterprise inside.
Yes, we did. Definitely. Hashtag definitely. Okay, drink up.
See, on Friday nights, we get all wind up, and now we get our caffeine.
We'll just get everybody caffeinated with my definitely.
And see, Brett's even getting some love from people, on the board. They're all saying hello.
Yep.
And
that's our boy.
And Brett said, play it. And Two Doves said, yes, please. With lots.
All right, let me get my ook. It's right back here.
I cannot be responsible for this being stuck in your head for the remainder of the day.
I'm not going to sing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to play it. So. Oh, no. I was starting to play La Bamba. What was that?
I have no idea.
I think that's the alarm for our...
Put the temperature... No, put the other temperature up. Raise that.
I don't know how to raise
This is live. We're trying to figure out. So what is going off right now is the alarm for the fan for the inverter. It seems like you're just making it louder. Either that or it wanted to go along as a metronome with your music.
It shouldn't be alarming because it says the probe temperature is 89 and the alarm is set to go off at 110.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you sit here and talk to people while I figure it out.
All right. It is getting louder. Oh, there it goes. It knew you were coming. Go ahead, have a seat.
See, it's afraid of me already.
It knew you were on its way, and it's like, I better get my act together. Okay, here. Guantanamera. Jeez, I can't do it now.
And yes, Brett, you're an enabler.
1, 2. Why can't I do this?
Because you have stage fright. He'll do this all the time where he'll call Brett and say, I learned a new song.
You're talking over my playing.
I am. Oh, Graham. Graham said God stepped in and stopped you from playing.
I guess I got stage fright because I can play that. It's 3 chords. That's why I'll never go. That's why I'll never go on the screen on the live stage.
Yeah, Abby just had to do it. Abby, you want to say hi?
You know what I can do is I can play this on Friday night when I've had a little bit of drink in me and I'm a little bit relaxed. Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
So Carlos and Renee said just film the song, Russ.
That's the way to do it too. Yeah.
1-4-5 progression. Oh, we have someone that knows music in the room.
Yes, who is it? Who is it?
Destinations Chronicles.
Nice. I don't know music that well. My son can play the heck out of the ook. I'm jealous that, or not jealous, I'm envious of people who can play music, so I try, but it's not my deal. I'm more of a visual creator, video and art.
And this all started, Russ had received an ook from his grandmother.
Yeah, it was 40-some years old.
And so he just started messing around with it, and he was trying to teach himself how to do it. And then Brett comes home on college break, and he was bored, and within 2 weeks had surpassed Russ's 7 months of practice time. And it's just, by ear, he picked it up. But it's something fun, and even when we were at Escapers, Russ sitting out front playing, gets caught up and stuff like that.
Yep.
So Brett said he's more excited about I've been getting, you can't see the knee under the table because he's been seeing stuff come through, but I've been following, there's conversations among other people, so I'm not neglecting my duties. But no, Brett has been asked what he thinks about his parents' journey. And he said, we're crazy as a nut. No, he didn't. He said, I'm excited about all the adventures they go on. I know more than anything that he knows that more than anything, and he wants to see them go to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, because that's where he is.
It's gorgeous out there. Russ and I have both been there very briefly for work, and never got to really go explore all the beauty. We saw the city centers.
Yeah, I was in Seattle, and you've been to several cities up there.
I have, but they were for work again.
Didn't you? What was that whaling museum? Didn't you go out on some island or something?
Yeah, Friday Harbor, up in the very northern part of Washington. So I want to say it's about an hour or so north of Seattle. And then you have to take a really cool ferry to get to the island. There's a whaling museum there. It's such a really cool little island that if you're in that area, I suggest you go there. And so Carlos and Renee said, I'm from Washington too, born in Seattle. That city is like one of the fastest growing. I mean, every time I would go there for work, more and more would happen. But as Brett was talking about, that they're not far from anything. He sees people from the apartment complex that he's in that all the time they go out for the day and they're going to go hiking, canoeing or whatever. So they're so close to everything, but they have the benefit of the city really close.
Yeah. He's got a really neat Great Pyrenees, and he lives on the second floor of this building, and that people are starting to notice that dog. We were telling him he should put his Instagram channel under there. Hi, my name, is
Oz the Pier,
and then put as Oz the Pier, his Instagram thing.
But he has floor to ceiling windows, and he's on I guess where the street is, like the second level, so everybody can see, and the dog just comes down and greets everybody. So Brett's getting used to everybody yelling hi to the dog.
Yeah.
Carlos and Renee said loved it, but so much rain, flew south and stayed in. He's a Floridian now. And we're the opposite. We have the opposite of rain. And I think living in the Southwest for so long, if I have I can deal with rain for a day. And then after that, I'm like, enough. I need sun.
Rain is just so messy sometimes.
Oh, that is the one thing. When we were in the southeast Florida way, so much mud, especially in the Little Guy Max, because it's such a small space. It just all congregated in one area. I was constantly cleaning the floor and wiping everything down. Plus, it was at the beginning of our journey, so not learning how to manage. Now we have the double mat system to get our feet and try to wipe the dog stuff
Yeah, we've
down.
gone back to the style of back in Hawaii where you take your shoes off before you come in the rig and that sort of thing.
So we have a bunch of the Seattle Tacoma info. Mike and Trina, they live 32 miles from Mount Rainier. Trees, trees, and trees.
Beautiful.
I can't wait to get up there.
Yeah.
Sue says, if you come through Oregon up the coast, it's so beautiful, wonderful mountains, huge trees, but lots of sunshine areas too.
Yeah, Oregon is a beautiful state. I always knew about the coastal area, but then Chuck from Get Bronson was showing us kind of Bend, and that is beautiful too. So it's kind of one of those things you almost have to spend a lot of time in Oregon to see all the beauty that state
But
has
see,
to
we
offer.
have the benefit of doing that now with our lifestyle and a Wii Boost. So
I
now
know.
we can get through with the Wii Boost.
Are we using the Wii Boost right now?
We are using the Wii Boost
Awesome.
right now. And I noticed an immediate difference. So even though we didn't purchase it, now that we have it, I'm going to be testing it just to kind of see the capability. So if people have questions, I'll put up some information below on the exact one that we have. I think it's the 4GX, which is good for RVs and vehicles and things like that.
Yeah, and it boosts, because I know some of the problems we're running into is some of them will only boost phone audio, where this does data as well.
So we found an easier way of saying living the RV local life, or Carlos and Renee, because they gave Two Doves permission to call them just Loca. Call them Loca. It's easier.
There you
so
go. There you go.
I'm going to pick up on that. And then Sean said, are you going to make a video on your solar setup once we understand it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't really understand it. You get into that. So you guys are sitting on the battery bank and where all the charge controllers are, and you open that up and you look inside of it, and it's just like, wow,
It does look like the Enterprise.
I need to get an engineer in here to look at it, but because it is kind of crazy.
I mean, we had just started getting an understanding of the ZAMP system in the Little Guy, and that was very easy after I kind of understood the concept of it. And you just had that plug-in outlet up there. If we wanted to add extra in, it had ports that you can just plug in, and it tied right into that simple reader.
Well, I think, that's one that once you did that video, understanding your ZAMP controller, you really understood our system a lot better, and then I was able to learn through you. But I think this one is just on a whole different level.
It's much more powerful, obviously, and we have the inverter.
Yeah, there's so much more involved. I think it would be difficult to do the research, but once we understand it, of course.
Yes, and we have two different panels as well that are monitoring all the stuff. So we're still kind of learning what those monitor readings mean. And as you saw earlier with the beeping, they've got different fail-safe things set in. Russ hasn't even found the main battery.
No, the batteries are right below there.
The batteries are
they were just a lot smaller than I expected because they're lithium.
Oh, okay.
So I was expecting, I'm used to those AGMs or the wet cells that we had that are nice and big. No, these are small because they're lithium.
And when I sat through the Battleborn seminars, I learned a little bit more about it, and that's one of the huge things that I was listening to these other people that have the big 40-foot diesel pushers and whatnot, that their biggest thing outside of having the lithium thing, and lithium overall is cheaper. It's more expensive up front, but it is cheaper to run them long term. But they are so much lighter. So when you are already massive and heavy, to be able to save a couple 100 pounds just by swapping out your batteries, that's a huge savings.
Huge.
So Brett asked a good question here. He said, what are the best and worst things about the swap so far?
I haven't had a whole lot of bad things. Everything's really been good. So the worst thing that I can see right now is just being able to get into some areas. There are a lot of areas we can't get into. And it wasn't fun. it wasn't fun swapping over from one unit to another. I can't believe how much stuff we had in that little guy Max.
Yeah, remember we had talked before. A lot of people would ask us what our preference was between the tabs and the little guys. And while I love the design on both, the little guy offered us so much more storage capabilities. Yeah. And we found that out as we're pulling more and more and more out of it.
So just to get to the other part of that question, the best thing for me is just the power ability. I mean, we are sitting out here in the middle of nowhere. Our batteries are back to 100%. They didn't even really drop below 95%. We watched TV unplugged. We were able to charge stuff without, before we'd either have to have our little Goal Zero Sherpa to charge our phones, or we'd have to hit the generator to charge our laptops. And so just the freedom and the ability, plus the tanks. I mean, we have 63 gallons of fresh water and 43 black, 43 gray, so we can stay out a lot longer.
So here's the trade-off. So with the little guy and the truck, we could get into a lot more boondocking places, and we didn't really have to think about it. If our truck could get there, we could get there. And so we really like boondocking a lot, and that really sold us on it. So now we have the boondocking beast, as you're calling it.
But we're limited.
But getting into places. So for example, the place that we were scouting out yesterday, we were at 3 miles in on this gravelly, bumpy road, and Russ had to take it really, really slow, and it just was not enjoyable. And then we got to this one part where the road really dipped down, and with the way the gravel was, we just didn't feel safe enough, so we had to turn around, come back, and find our plan B boondocking spot.
Yeah, so Kerry was scouting ahead in the truck, and I was coming up slow, 3 miles an hour. But here's the problem too. I kind of brought a lot of that onto us because Kerry was behind me. She had the nav going. I'm ahead. And being from this area, I've spent a lot of time up in this area when we lived here several years ago, hiking, doing a little bit of hunting with Tom when Tom came out here. And then she said, Wheeler Pass. I said, I know where Wheeler Pass is. Follow me. So we're going.
Famous last
and
word.
I went to Wheeler Pass. She says, well, we got about 3 miles. I said, negative. Wheeler Pass is right here.
We're going here.
Wheeler Pass. I knew where. And we were on Wheeler Pass. But where this area was Wheeler Pass Road. Which will
down.
Take you into Wheeler Pass eventually. But I had just gone right to the pass, and it's not conducive for this type of unit. So I told Kerry, I said, you know what, from now on, even if I think I know where I'm going, you just say, no, Russ, we're following this. Because she was following Compendium, and I took us through some crazy area. I said, you just put your foot down and say, no, we're following these routes.
I have this documented on video now. I'm going to pull this up so next time you say, no, we're going the way
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm listening to you. You were 100% right.
So we had a question. I just want to make sure. Let me back up here.
While Kerry's looking for that, look at this cool rock I found. It's, I think it's a vertebrae to a dinosaur.
Okay, so Loka, it's not. Loka asked, can we ask how much you paid for the rig? It's awesome that everything is ready for boondocking. So I think we got it at a steal because it was sold at a consignment place, and the seller, or the dealer rather, really didn't know what was in here. But yeah, go ahead and share.
So yeah, here's the deal. The consignment, they have to sell it at book. And the reason they have to sell it at book is because people aren't paying cash. Yeah, like Blue Book or whatever. Because they're usually financing, and you can't finance more. Kerry and I came in with cash to buy this, but they didn't know what they had. I said, does this thing have solar? And they said, I don't know. I climbed up and I said, oh, they have solar. Oh, and how? And then we found the Weeboost. So we stole this at $14,900. And like I said, it's got 960 watts. It's got the Onan generator with only 197 hours. It's got only has 32,000 miles on it. Has the Weeboost. Has all the TV stuff. And we did have to put some extra money into the wheels because Kerry and I, you hear that saying, this is where the rubber meets the road. Well, these tires were old. They were about, 7 years old? No, they were 10 years old. And all the research we've done, even if you don't have the miles on the tires, even if they're 50, 75,000 mile tires on RVs, you don't want to go over 7 years. And this was...
Especially out here where they sit in the sun a little bit, and we could see some cracking on it, so we had to do that. But overall, for everything that we got, it was a fantastic price.
Yeah,
Did you say the price?
$14,900.
Okay, yeah. So Judy wants to know, can you run the air conditioner with the amount of solar lithium now? Yes, we can.
Just one. So we have two. We have a front and a back. So we can run one of the ACs with it, but we can only do that at daytime. Because if we run it at nighttime, it's going to suck the battery down, the batteries. But we're getting so much solar in that during the day, not a problem. We can do that.
So Sue has put in a suggestion that we'll put in for the thing, Road Dog for a name.
Road Dog. That reminds me of the Air Force.
The Air Force.
That's how Kerry and I met. She was a road dog.
Yes. So...
Should I explain that, or do we just move on?
No, you can go ahead and explain it.
Okay, so I was 6 weeks ahead of Kerry in training because I was a canine handler, and she came in, and I was marching the flights wherever, the newbie flights, wherever they had to go before they had their own people that knew where they were going. And in the Air Force, when you have these 50-man or 50-person flights walking through intersections, you need people to stop traffic. And those are called road guards. In the Air Force, we called them road dogs. So we'd say, road dogs out, and they'd go, and they'd run out. And I went up to Kerry. I said, hey, would you be a road dog? She was kind enough because nobody volunteered. And then when she went out and did it, she didn't bark. Everybody else barked. So I kind of got in her face, and I said, you're supposed to bark. And she said, bow wow. And that was it. That's how we met. I said, I'm marrying this woman. 6 weeks later, I was off the market.
That's right. When I find something I like, I get it. Joyous Voyagers, they're here.
Hey guys, Corey and Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, if you want an LGM channel, Little Guy Max channel, they are hardcore full-time in it now. As far as I know, they're the only people that are full-time in an LGM as a couple on YouTube. There are a bunch of other people that are doing it.
We've left so that they're doing it, and they've got 2 doggies too.
Yeah, good people. Love them both.
Great handstands, by the way.
Corey does. I've noticed that she does handstands on Instagram at the different areas.
So Carlos Renee or Loca said, when we get our new rig, we're going to Arizona because we can get 320-watt solar panels and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we have 3 of them on here, and it's just, you get the benefit of it. Yesterday we pulled in here early afternoon. Like Russ said, we maxed it out. We were using all the electricity going around. Did not have to kick the generator on. And it was overcast yesterday in the afternoon. Today's full sun, so I'm kind of curious to see what we'll get.
Yeah.
And people are Tamara and RVDM. That's awesome. Deal or steal for the price that we paid on it.
Yeah. We couldn't pass it up. Even if I was telling Kerry, I said we could turn around and sell this for several thousand more, probably 4,000 or 5,000. But it came to the point where why would you? I mean, we wouldn't, but you never get into a unit like this that has all this stuff for that price ever again.
Exactly. And yes, Miss Max. So one of the things that we are looking into now is whether or not we do get another Toad or bicycles or e-bikes or just how to get around. One of the things that we did realize in our first 6 months, and we'll go through this tomorrow. We are going to put out our 100th vlog, which we are going to talk more about our thoughts and experiences in the first 6 months.
Yeah.
And one of the big things was financial. If you're trying, even for people that don't want to live super frugally, but you want to live in a more realistic manner to live this lifestyle a long time, we're going to go in depth on our thoughts on that. And food is always the number one.
Food has always been our biggest expense, and to be honest, we haven't really lived real frugally. We watch what we spend, but I think now 6 months in, I think it's something that's important that we will definitely try to do more of.
Well, we thought it was a benefit with the little guy having our tow vehicle because we could always unhitch and run errands and go in. And that is a benefit.
Yes.
but it's also for us.
It's a money sink.
Yes, because the temptation to just unhitch and run into town or go through a fast food place or go into places where you're going to spend money.
Yeah.
It's just too easy to do.
I mean, how many times have we done that? We just pulled in a place, we're tired, we've got food here that we could make, but it's like, or Russ, do you want to wait 45 minutes for food? Nope. I'll jump in the truck and go. And it's just so much easier to spend money when you have that mobility. So I think that will help us.
Well, I also think the size of the kitchen in here helps.
True.
Because the other one, so much thought and preparation had to go into the little guy, where you do have a fully functioning kitchen, not having an oven, but the Instapot helped with that. But I would sometimes have to take the dining room table, so Russ would have to move all his stuff and go work outside, so I could just have work prep space, and just maneuvering all that stuff took extra time, where now I can just, like last night, I threw dinner together very quickly.
Yeah.
But I think we want to try to go for a little while, so we will be getting rid of Black Betty, and we're just trying to think of what we're going to do. Maybe go a little while without any type of toad whatsoever.
Yeah.
Retrain our brains a little bit away from that convenience. Learn how to do more in here, and then we can go shop around. I'd love to get a Jeep.
Yeah, I would too. I know we need something. I really want a flat toe. I don't want to have to deal with dollies or anything. So, but then again, I don't want to spend a lot of money on a toad either. So it's just something we'll have to. Hopefully, the right thing at the right time, like with this
Rig.
like this rig, will hit us.
So Iron Actual said, I'd love for food to be my biggest expense, but being a homeowner in Denver really sucks. Can't wait to be done. Denver's so expensive.
Yeah, Denver's like Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel for you.
Yeah.
Get your RV, hit the road.
Yep, get mobile. Then food will be your most expensive deal.
Linda said, first time I've heard of RV consignments. Interesting. You know, we didn't even think of that at first when we first started toying around with the idea of just having something a little bigger. We were even thinking taking family, maybe even your grandmother or somebody. We just went to the traditional dealerships just to look at it. And then one of the dealers, we told them what we were looking for. We wanted something used. We wanted within a certain price range. And he said, go check out Las Vegas Park and Sell.
Yeah.
They do it all in consignments. And they're even selling Jose Canseco's.
Yeah, they've got Jose Canseco's. They sold 3 of his rigs. Here's an interesting thing, too, about buying from a consignment place. If you buy from a consignment place, we paid $14,900 for this. Out the door, it was $14,900.
You don't pay the sales tax
sales
until
tax.
You register. Like for us, registering in Texas, we'll have to pay the sales tax on that there. But you're not doing all this additional stuff.
There is no taxes involved because it's like a private sale. They're just the vehicle for that sale.
RVDM votes for Segways.
Ooh.
We saw some really cool ones on the back of an RV, remember? I think it was
Yes.
at Moab.
Yes.
I like, that looks really cool. And you're like, that looks like an accident waiting to happen.
Well, it was, I've ridden Segways quite a bit because when I was a cop, we had some of them. I wouldn't do the whole Segway deal as a cop, though. You just look sillier than I did on a bike as a police officer.
So
I was bike patrol for a little while and I got teased. But Segway guys, man, they thought it was cool until they got out and the public started messing with them.
So it's not about the accidents or potential for accidents.
Well,
It's
I
the
think
cool
now
factor.
it looked cool. Yeah, now I could pull it off.
With your cool hat.
Yeah.
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 So Tamra, now she's saying we were, good shoppers. We got a good steal on it. But talk about this. She got her Airstream for about the same price.
Wow, that's unheard of.
That's a good shopper.
Yeah, those Airstreams, man. I don't think I've ever seen one under 20 grand. I mean, those things, used, 10 years old, they're expensive.
Yes. I mean, we looked because, trust me, I looked because I loved, ever since I walked into that Tommy Bahama one at the Tampa RV show, whenever I'd see an Airstream at a park, I said, well, maybe when we do decide to go to a bigger rig, we can look at one of those.
The interesting thing about Airstreams, though, is because they're timeless. You can see a 20-year-old Airstream versus an Airstream that comes out now. As long as that 20-year-old Airstream is kept in good condition, you really can't tell how old it is. I
You
mean,
have
they're
that
just
classic
yeah.
look.
Great design on
And
those
what's so
units.
cool about a lot of them, because they have been around for so long, so many people have renovated them that you could just go online and see so many different inspiration
You know, the
pieces.
casitas are a lot like that too.
Yes.
I mean, timeless, because Two Doves Nations one, you would never, I forget how old theirs is. Theirs is several years old. I think 10, 15 years. I can't remember.
Correct us if I'm wrong. I think it's a 2004.
Yeah,
So-
but you can't tell. That thing, one, it's been kept in great shape, and two, Casita really hasn't changed their exterior
No.
look. So,
Well, why should you? I mean, it works.
exactly.
So, um, Loca and Two Doves are working a trade. I guess Loca wants to go to a smaller rig. Two Doves wants to go bigger. So, negotiating here. We get a cut for facilitating.
Yeah,
the
since we're the
trade.
consignment.
So Scott and Tammy said their RV is 20 years old, and we've remodeled the inside, put in new flooring, new curtains, new upholstery. Now the air conditioner is down. Question: do you put the same air conditioner in the same make and style? I don't know. I think
Yeah.
there are options now where you could, as long as it fits the openings.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you can buy them. They're all pretty much the same. So you can. I would just buy a new one if I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask about that. I'll just don't even listen to me.
But I
What
may ask you questions about the renovations.
Yeah, because we're going to be going through that here soon. One thing I did think of, if I was stationary for a little bit, I may not use the two ACs here. I might get like a window one and use something like that. I just wouldn't want to put so much use into it if I was stationary.
Okay, so this is funny. Sean asked if Billy's gotten lost yet. She knew where she was, but I couldn't find her for a few moments, which I'm not used to doing. I almost freaked out because I thought she got out.
I don't even know where she is.
She's over there on her. She likes to sit. I put her dog bed over in front of the passenger chair, the captain's chair. I put a little dog bed, and she feels like she's in a little cave. So that's where she is right now.
Yeah, and then Abby is in the back room on the bed there.
Oh, every chance that dog gets now, she will jump in there on the bed, and you walk in and just see full belly.
Yesterday when I was driving out to this boondock place from Vegas, Abby she'd go from the back window, the back bed area,
Oh, it is
and
so
then
funny.
she'd come sit up here in the passenger seat too.
So if you're ever driving behind us as we are going down the road, roaming the roads, you may see a goofy looking, smiling dog looking out that back window, because I was driving behind Russ, and she would just pop up there every couple minutes, and she could not have looked more happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could tell she was definitely happy.
Rosebuds Travels joined us.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Rosebuds.
Speaking of casitas, I think they have a casita, right? Rosebuds?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Linda said, found a new research project. I think that's for the ACs.
Oh yeah.
But I think you're right. I think that there's a standardization for AC units. Ours is about 20 years old too. So
I know when you go into like Camping World, they've got ACs just sitting there that you can buy. And then refrigerators as well. I mean, just right out in the open.
Okay, so Tamara has two things. Her vote is to think about a Can-Am trike.
Ooh.
Yeah, right outside El Paso is where they ship them all from.
Yeah.
And we've got a correction. You know how we thought she had a steal for getting her Airstream for that? She's like, oh, no. Their tax, title, and license came up to $14,000.
See,
Oh,
you're the one that said that, not me. I was.
Oh, I think I would cry. I think I'd still be crying over that.
No. That's funny.
So Loca said their ultimate setup is a Class C with a gold wing trike, and they're working towards it. I remember there was a time when we were first thinking of this RV life, Russ said we should just get a gold wing and maybe tow behind one of those little My Pods just to sleep in. No.
Well,
put Billy with little goggles.
I think it would be a lot of
Abby.
fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun to get those Can-Am spiders or whatever they're called.
And I could do that or Goldwing as a tow behind on a trailer.
I don't think I could do that full-time living, but wouldn't it be a lot of fun once to like a whole summer? Just both of us have I know we can't afford it. It won't happen. But
No.
how fun would that be to get two Can-Am spiders and just kind of maybe travel the U.S. for
as
3
long
months.
as it didn't rain on me.
And what do you do with the dogs? We'd have to get sidecars. Yeah.
See, that's the part I'd have fun with because I'd buy them all the cool outfits and get the little doggy goggles.
Scarf flowing in the back. Yeah, I know you.
Oh, so Russ was trying to drive this yesterday with the driver's window open, and he didn't secure the curtain.
The wraparound
The
curtain
wraparound
there.
curtain. And I'm behind it, and it just looked like a runaway RV van with this curtain blowing in the breeze in the back.
I was trying to pull it back, but it was like, when does this? And then I remembered because I was just thinking it was like one of these little curtains.
Yeah.
And I forgot. I was like, oh, that's that full wraparound that goes all the way around.
It was going crazy, and we were going through a construction
Like
area.
trying to drive and pull it back at the same time.
Oh, we should have thought to put a GoPro in the truck so I
Yeah.
could follow you, because that was, and we dialed each other in, so we were kind of talking on the phone back and forth.
Until we got through that pass there, no communication. Remember the cells dropped.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if you're going between Vegas and Pahrump, there's a big area of
Big
just
dead
no
area.
coverage, at least for Verizon. So Loka has a 45-foot toy hauler. Oh my
Nice.
goodness. That I
Nice.
would get lost in. Abby could get lost in that, I think.
Yeah, I would, I think now this is a great jump up for us because I'm a little uncomfortable driving this 34 foot 3311, but not too bad. So I think if I went right to like a 40 or 45 foot, that would be it might be overwhelming.
Yes.
But so now we jumped up this. Who knows? Maybe 5 years from now, jump up into a 40 foot. But I think it'll be a lot easier transition into something that big.
Well, if you remember at Escapade, we walked into that 40-foot diesel pusher.
Yeah.
And that just seemed overwhelmingly big, even living space.
Overwhelmingly cool too.
It was cool, but I think this has just enough space where I feel comfortable, and it's not, because Two Doves made a good comment earlier where they said rig is bigger responsibilities.
Yeah.
Very much
very
so.
true.
And we had just gotten comfortable with the little guy Max, where we knew if pretty much anything went wrong, we could fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you saw with the beeping, we're suddenly in that, oh my goodness, how do we figure this out? Let's pull out the manual, Google it. And the downside is we can't just call up little guy's customer service and have them walk us
Oh,
through
that
stuff
was
anymore.
so great with them. You could call Bob Deskovich there at the thing, and he'd talk you through stuff. So yeah, you're right. I will miss that. It's one of the things I'll miss about that. Is
Yep.
Not having the customer service.
Now, for the drive, Judy asks, I wonder if Abby was trying to understand why you were in the truck behind the RV. No, she was probably rubbing it in my face saying, Mama, look, I'm in this really cool, big moving house, and you're stuck back in that truck. Because one of the things Russ has mentioned before, when we would have several driving days in a row, Abby normally loves to get in the truck. But when we have those multiple travel days, she'll just look at us like, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
She has been ecstatic and happy every moment that she's been in it. So.
Yeah, that's another reason why we limit our travel days, or we were limiting our travel days to about 3 to 4 hours, because of Abby too. But I think it's a good practice because I think you do get a little bit exhausted. It's not like driving a car. I mean, you are totally, when you're driving, whether it's a little guy Max behind the truck or whether it's this guy, you're into everything going around everywhere. You're into, hey, what's coming up behind me? 70 yards behind me. What's going on in front of me? So it does get a little bit taxing. So I think we'll still stick with that.
I think so. So we were right. Two Doves has a 2004.
Okay.
And Rosebuds, they have a 2019. And check them out because they have their latest videos are all the new things in the casitas for 2019.
Very
so if
cool.
you're curious about those for the little models, I might go and check that out too.
Oh, I definitely will.
So definitely, here we go. Tamara said, we love Ernestine Hemingway. The payments, that's the name of their rig. That's so
That
cool.
fits an Airstream. That's totally an Airstream name. I like it.
She said, the payments stink. Don't get me wrong. We want a Can-Am. Yes, and to the side cards. Who knows? Maybe someday we could do that. I think Abby would love it. Billy, as long as she's in like a backpack.
Yeah.
Attached to
Yeah,
her, she'd be
Abby
okay.
or Billy wouldn't be digging it. She'd have to be attached to you.
And KV's here.
Hey, KV.
Good morning. I'm going to try it for the 365 photo thing. So I'll put the link below because I can't remember the exact name. Maybe KV, you can pipe in with it, but it's like you share your photo stuff
Yeah,
on there.
KV's got some great photos.
She did something really interesting. So she sent us a beautiful picture of a lily this morning, and I asked her if she took the picture because she's a photographer, and she said yes. Now they've had some bad weather, whatnot. She goes to Home Depot and can take pictures of all the different foliage and things like that. That's
cool. One of those brilliant things. You're like, wow.
I don't have to grow them, and if I can't get out to places, but hey, guess what? I can go to the nursery.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Let's see. She said, I just popped in for a minute. We're out on a keep ride, and Kate has stopped to shop for a minute.
Ah.
So what's a keep ride?
I have no idea.
KB, if you're still in the room, let us know what a keep ride is. Maybe it's to keep on getting out there and go and do stuff. I don't know. Or peep ride. Maybe she meant peep like for Easter.
Oh, there you go.
Marshmallow peeps. What do you think of marshmallow peeps?
I don't like them.
I don't either. That's why we're married. Do you like peeps? No? Okay, we're good. So Miss KV said our Max is still waiting on some parts since March 7th. They finally sent parts out, but one was the wrong part.
Man.
I hate when there's issues like that, especially it's right at this time of year.
Yeah, you're getting into the time.
Everybody's ramping up. Yeah. Like Randy's Adventures. She had an Instagram post, and I had to comment on it because I said that's the first time she's gone camping in a while that does not have 10 feet of snow behind her.
Yeah, how she camps in Minnesota through the winter is beyond me.
Now, multiple people, we're going to give Southland RV a shout out.
Okay.
Because they tend to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Kate and KV, they're in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Kate and KV bought theirs. Joyous Voyagers bought theirs. I think somebody else did. But everything we've heard from people, unsolicited, Southland RV seems to be a very great place to get a little guy or any other type of RV for that matter.
Jeep ride.
Jeep ride. Okay,
there
thank
you go.
I knew it must have had to have been a typo there.
That was a pretty. That was a pretty good guess. The keep ride, the peep ride was a pretty good guess.
Easter, you know.
Yeah, no,
How about going in your Jeep to get peeps for Easter?
That was a good guess. My brain would have never gone there, but I see where you're going with that.
Oh, don't you love spell check? Oh. I was trying to message something to Russ the other day, and it kept correcting me like 4 times. And so finally, Russ knows at this point, I have to get it out. Even though I know he knows what I'm trying to do, I have to get it out. And I detest spell check. I hate it when it tells me that it's trying to tell me what I'm trying to say, and I know what I want to say better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Southland is in Norcross, so just around, hovering that. I think it's on the east side of the greater Atlanta area. Miss Max says, Kerry and Russ can help us LGM owners with all the great past videos, too.
That's what we were thinking, and we have so much content that we haven't put out yet about the LGM, and you're right. We not only with the content that's out there and the content that'll probably come out later, but we do have a lot of time in it, so we do understand a lot of the issues. So if you are a Little Guy Max owner and you do have some questions and you can't get it elsewhere, come to us. We may know, then again we may not. But...
And if we don't, we can definitely steer you in the direction of someone who can. Mm-hmm. And we know that there aren't any plans to modify it for the 2020. Mm-hmm. So at least for the next couple years, anybody that has those questions, we know it very, very well. I mean, nonstop for more than 6 months.
Yeah, you figure for us living in it for 6 months straight, and in those 6 months we only slept outside of it 2 nights. Mm-hmm. We probably have the equivalent of owning one for 6 or 7 years.
Well,
weekend camping.
Yeah, for someone who just weekend camps. So we've really tested every system in it.
Yeah, we used everything.
Which reminds me, and I forget who asked it earlier. Somebody had asked if we were thinking of doing a composting toilet in this. later on.
And then I don't know. I know we really considered doing it in the Little Guy Max.
Mm-hmm.
What we were
And that was
considering
because it was we only had a 9-gallon black tank.
Yeah, what we were considering on doing with the Little Guy Max is pull out that black tank and put in a composting toilet,
Yep.
and then put in another tank that we would either use for fresh water or gray water. But yeah, here I don't know. Maybe.
I don't see a reason to right now. The Little Guy, I think it would be great if Little Guy offered that as an option.
Yeah,
Because
I do too.
You could, as we mentioned earlier, you can get into some really cool boondocking places.
Hold on, I want to say goodbye to RVDM. They're taking off. They got to do some editing. Happy Easter, RVDM. Thank you so much for joining
leaving
us.
too.
All right,
I
guys.
just saw that come through as well. Thank you so much for your Easter time.
Yeah. We really considered not doing this Sunday because we didn't know how many people would be available. So thank you so much. We've got quite a few people in here.
So see this Ackworth, Georgia group?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
KV just realized, wow, Judy, I'm sitting at Walgreen at Mars Hill in Stellsboro. You're close by. See, they're going to have those impromptu. Joe and Liberty Outdoors, if they're planning another tier stock, should probably just plan one down there.
Yeah, a lot of owners already down there.
Nobody will have to leave or go anywhere, so we could just do that. But I think if you haven't already, before I forget, if anybody has not yet, if you could take a second and click that like button, that would help us out.
Mm-hmm.
And I always forget to do that. Oh, by Chick-fil-A. Yeah, sorry, I saw Chick-fil-A come through. What is it with Chick-fil-A? Because Chick-fil-A has such a die-hard that, we're getting away from takeout food, aren't we?
Yeah. No, I think the thing about Chick-fil-A is they have great customer service,
Yeah.
plus the morals of the company are in line with a lot of people.
We've been through there once or twice, and the food is good.
Yeah.
But every time in El Paso, at the very least, they would have extra cones going through the Walmart parking lot with it all backed up.
Anywhere you see a Chick-fil-A, it's always busy.
We've got Two Doves saying Happy Easter. People are kind of checking it out. And then the Ackworth people are all talking about where they are respectively to one another and how Corey used to live in Ackworth. And yes,
Yeah.
Judy, Corey is full-time now. Corey and Daniel are Joyous Voyagers, and they are the only other full-time
That
couple
we know of.
That we know of.
On YouTube, in a Little Guy Max. And I think Corey actually went to school there at, what's the name of that college? It's a D1 school. Oh no, I can't think of it. Corey will jump in, but it's right
Corey,
in.
where'd you go to
It's
school?
right in that area. I know KV worked there as well. Kennesaw. That's it.
Okay. So we got a yes, but I don't know if she was responding to the
Yes,
Chick-fil-A question or whether you got it right.
No, I think she was responding to the full time there because it was Corey from Joyous Voyagers saying
Okay,
yes.
gotcha. Wow, our WeBoost is helping. We're not having any lag whatsoever here today.
No, I love that. Kennesaw State. Yep.
Yep.
So no, this is really good. It's amazing. We just found it maybe 20 minutes before this, and it's working just fine now.
Oh, Judy graduated from Kennesaw State as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
What
it's a
a
big
little
school.
world.
And there's so much. One of the kids we sponsor on our Technetics, the company that I work for.
That's right, Britain.
Britton
Lockhart.
Yeah, boy, I couldn't remember his name. I was saying Lockworth. His channel is History Preserved, and no, not History Preserved. Depths of History. He goes to Kennesaw State right now.
Billy's making her guest appearance for the day.
Yeah.
As we are getting ready to wrap up, because I am going to attempt. We're converting Russ's luggable loo.
No, we're not. I bought a new. Remember, I bought that
Okay,
blue
the
thing.
luggable loo concept. I'm gonna try to do field washing of the clothes.
Yep.
We're close to a laundromat just in case.
But no, we figure why do it? We've got some amazing sun out here. I bought a new bucket, and Kerry's gonna wash in one and rinse in the other, and then we are going to hang dry them, or whatever they call that, sun dry them,
Yep,
like a tomato. I don't know.
Like a tomato. I hope not. But we're going to try that. That's the only thing that this thing does not have. Did
Washer
you
and
check,
dryer.
Did you check maybe it's up on the roof?
A washer and dryer on the roof. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
We could have a system up
I
there.
got up there today just to look at the solar, and it was spooky. I mean, it was, when I got up there, I was like, okay, how do I get down? Because now I have to work my way down that ladder.
Yeah.
I was kind of scared. It's funny because I used to rope and rappel off of Hoover Dam. I'm not afraid of heights, but for some reason, I think it was because I had flip-flops on up there. I was
Okay,
a
note
little
to self.
spooky.
You need to tell me before you're going to take those things on. Because it was right as we just woke up, he took Abby out for her break. And all of a sudden I hear all this movement. And at first I thought he was in pulling out the lawn chairs from one of the underside things. And as I'm opening up the curtains to look outside, I see your feet. Like right there,
Well,
and you were climbing up.
Yeah, I didn't plan on going up there. It was just, I saw the sun coming up and I got thinking of the solar, so I said, I'm going to climb up there and look at it. I wanted to see how they were angled and to see, because we have this control panel here that has,
Can we move it
for
from
the
there?
solar, it says rear and front solar, and it has directional pads, so I don't know. That's what I wanted to see, but I couldn't really tell.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All
But
right.
anyways, guys, we are at the hour mark. We don't want to take up too much of your time. We'll catch up right now on comments, but if there are any last-minute questions, comments, or anything like that, go ahead and fire them away. Are we all caught up?
Pretty much. So I found out the cost of Bud Light in the 16 ounces are $13.95. Thank you, 2 Dubs.
I was going to say it's got to be Ace.
Totally ace. And Rosebud is telling us to keep the solar clean.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we were just thinking of getting this completely cleaned first, especially after the dusty dirt road.
Yeah. That venture I took us on.
Oh, and I almost got killed by two snakes.
2 dead rattlesnakes. No, but the problem is where we pulled over and Kerry walked back to me. Once we turned around, I was like, man, there are 2 rattlesnakes here, and they were smaller ones. So there's got to be a nest somewhere, or whatever they call them. I don't know what they call but to have 2 that same size, which mean they were the same, relatively the same age. There must have been a nest somewhere. I'm glad you didn't get bit.
I'm glad too. I don't know. Did you plan it when you said, "Hey, I see snakes in the area. Babe, stop and back up. Come back here and talk to me."
No.
I see it now.
Yeah.
I see it.
No.
Yeah. You
All
got the
right,
great
guys.
wig.
It looks like we're all caught up. Doesn't look like there's any new chats coming in. We are going to take off so you can enjoy your Easter. I'm going to go down and see my dad, who lives in Pahrump as well. So I hope everybody has a happy Easter, and we will be back in stride posting videos again next week as we're all caught up now on everything. we
And
need to
don't
be.
forget, check in tomorrow where we will do our 6 months on the road review. What it's been
100th
like.
vlog. Yeah.
100th vlog. That is crazy because we've had more videos than that. That's just our vlogs.
Yeah.
So that'll be a special one. So thank you so much. Happy Easter, everyone. Now go eat a lot of food, and if you like Peeps, they're